Yahoo. 1440. Good morning. It's Tuesday, July 7th, and we'd like to thank the Supreme Court for upholding a ban on robocalls. Okay. Need to know. Faithless electors fall in court. States are allowed to remove electors who cast votes that don't align with their state's popular vote, the Supreme Court ruled yesterday. Oh, this is great. While faithless electors are relatively rare, the unanimous decision means results of the Electoral College will tie to the results of state-level popular votes. By law, U.S. presidential elections rely on an indirect vote made by 538 electors, and now those electors have been rendered inconsequential. In practice, these electors are chosen by the winning party and rarely violate their pledge. There have been 165 instances of faithless electors in U.S. history, 63 of which occurred in 1872 when presidential candidate Horace Greeley died after the election. The two cases in question centered on a handful of such electors who refused to support the Clinton-Kaine ticket in 2016, despite Democrats winning their respective states. The Electoral College comes under criticism every 4 years. See arguments for and against the institution. Separately, the Supreme Court upheld a ban on robocalls. The rule extends to political polling groups that typically rely on auto-dialing to reach voters. Payday in Kansas City. Superstar quarterback Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs agreed to a 10-year deal worth more than $450 million, sources revealed yesterday. The extension includes a $140 million injury guarantee and begins after the 2021 season, meaning Mahomes appears likely to stay in Kansas City through 2031. Counting the next 2 seasons, the young QB will have the richest contract in American sports, exceeding $475 million. At 24 years old, Mahomes has dominated the NFL since entering the league 3 seasons ago. Over the past 2 years, including the playoffs, he has led all quarterbacks in touchdowns, 89, passing yards, 10,602, and wins, 27. On track for one of the worst games of his career in last year's Super Bowl 54, he led the Chiefs to 3 scores in the final 7 minutes. The comeback sealed the franchise's first championship in 50 years, with Mahomes winning the game's MVP trophy. The Chiefs are also slated to kick off the NFL season, barring any coronavirus-induced changes, when they host the Houston Texans Thursday, September 10th, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, NBC. Uber buys Postmates. Ride-sharing giant Uber will buy food delivery service Postmates for $2.65 billion in stock, the company has announced yesterday. The move marries the 3rd and 4th largest food delivery services in the country, giving Uber an estimated 30% market share, rivaling that of DoorDash, 33%, and Grubhub, 32%. Uber previously tried to acquire Grubhub in early June before the deal reportedly fell apart over details. Grubhub was eventually bought by Europe's Just Eat takeaway. The burgeoning industry is estimated to pass $26 billion in revenue this year, with more than 110 million users in the U.S. While use of the apps was already seeing double-digit growth, the panic has accelerated the trend, with many restaurants closed for indoor service and patrons choosing to remain at home. Postmates said orders in the second quarter were up 50% from the previous year. Uber stock was up 6% on the news. Meanwhile, gig economy delivery workers have seen competition soar as laid-off workers join the apps. The cable killer? The Motley Fool. Notice how everyone seems to be cutting cable lately in favor of streaming services like Netflix, Disney+, HBO, and Hulu? The shift is happening without a doubt, and things could look pretty bleak for cable. But who do you pick to be the biggest winner? With so many programs and offerings, it seems daunting to predict who's coming out on top in the Netflix versus all battle royale. Our friends at the Motley Fool have been scouring the investment world for the stock most likely to capitalize on this shift, and shockingly, both of the Motley Fool's co-founders, David and Tom, independently arrived at the same company. This has only happened 25 times over the entire history of the Motley Fool Stock Advisor, and when it does, the average return has been an astounding 931%. The company they're featuring could stand to grow immensely within the multi-trillion-dollar media and entertainment industry, sitting nicely in the middle of the advertising market. And the best part is most investors have never even heard of it. Check out the report now. Returns as of July 3rd, 2020. Where is that from? At 931%, I guess. Please support our sponsors. In the know, sports, entertainment, and culture. Harvard unveils plan for fall semester will include bringing up to 40% of students back on campus, but no change in tuition, $49,653 this year, despite all classes moving online. That sucks. President Trump calls on Bubba Wallace to apologize for noose hoax, questions NASCAR's decision to ban Confederate flag. Yep, that was in a tweet. And I read about this in the Sundry Sports episode. The Yahoo Sports writer who wrote about it was less than objective, shall we say. But yeah, as I said, over there, it was. They turned it into a hoax. The rope itself exists, yes. They turned it into a hoax by announcing it as a hate crime, by getting all emotional and doing, their big display of support. And, Bubba Wallace did all his interviews, even after the FBI did their investigation, which took less than a day, by the way. They couldn't wait less than a day to release all the shitstorm of feelings. But even after that, even after they said, no, it's not a hate crime, the rope was already there, the rope's been there for quite some time, Bubba Wallace and NASCAR still kept on talking about, how terrible it was. And of course, NASCAR had to do their own investigation following the FBI's. So cute of them. But yeah, they turned it into a hoax. They hoaxified it. Colin Kaepernick signs production deal with Disney to produce series that highlight social justice issues. Ugh. Charlie Daniels, whose songs include The Devil Went Down to Georgia, dies at 83. Ennio Morricone, Oscar and Grammy-winning composer, dies at 91. Science and technology. Federal court orders closure of the Dakota Access Pipeline, saying environmental assessments were not properly followed before construction. Line carries more than 500,000 barrels of crude oil per day from North Dakota's Bakken Shale Basin. Well, apparently it doesn't anymore. Fucking environmentalists. Researchers pinpoint a specific type of collagen protein that limits scar tissue from heart attacks, leading to stronger, healthier recovery. Deep brain stimulation localized along a specific nerve fiber tract shown to treat severe cases of obsessive-compulsive disorder. How does DBS work? Business and markets. Brought to you by The Ascent. Details of Trump administration's Paycheck Protection Program loans released, including names of companies receiving loans of $150,000 or more. Analysis estimates the program protected up to 51 million jobs. At least 1440 is a bit, more than a bit, is more objective than Yahoo News. Yahoo News, as we just read, latched on to the fact that Kanye West's billion-dollar company received a loan from the program. So the real news is that all this information has been released. But they just wanted to tell you about Kanye West getting a loan from the Trump administration. U.S. stock markets climb. S&P 500 up 1.6%, Dow up 1.8%, Nasdaq up 2.2%, after Chinese markets surged to highest level since early 2018. What does it have to do with the fucking Chinese markets? Can't we handle our own shit? Global venture capital funding down 7% in the first half of the year over last year to $129 billion. The reduction was lower than expected amid panic. Have credit card debt? Now is a very good time to jump on a balance transfer. Get a 0% introductory APR for 18 months on balance transfers with this card. Give yourself a year and a half to pay off your balance for peace of mind. I'm guessing that's the ad from The Ascent. Politics and world affairs. Amy Cooper, the New York City woman criticized for calling the police on a black man birdwatching in Central Park, charged with filing a false police report. Was this the woman with the dog? And the black man was possibly threatening her dog? Frederick Douglass statue vandalized in Rochester, New York. Incident came on the anniversary of one of Douglass's most famous speeches delivered in the city. Miami-Dade County pauses reopening plans, orders emergency restaurant closure as coronavirus cases spike. U.S. reports 2.94 million cases with 130,306 deaths as of this morning. See 3-day moving average. There. Former Utah Governor John Huntsman, Republican, loses in primary bid to retake his old office. Release date for tell-all book by President Trump's niece Mary Trump moved up to July 14th. Okay. In depth. Is anyone watching Quibi? From Vulture. With deep pockets and an enormous stable of A-list talent, Quibi, rhymes with Libby, we learned, was supposed to revolutionize how Hollywood content was consumed. Just 3 months after its launch, the platform isn't in the top 250 most downloaded apps and has gained more attention for flops than hits. China's modern genocide, from Unheard. China's oppression of its Muslim minority Uyghurs has been slowly making its way into Western public consciousness over the past few years. But the latest bombshell report that Beijing is forcing contraceptive and sterilization on the population echoes past ethnic genocides around the world. So, not letting them have babies, you're admitting, is like a genocide. But all the babies killed from abortion here in America is not a genocide, even though the majority of them are black babies. Little black babies that apparently nobody wanted. But that's not a genocide, huh? That's not a genocide? Excellent historical returns, no jargon. The Motley Fool was founded by brothers Tom and David Gardner out of their garage in Alexandria, Virginia. Since then, they've grown remarkably, thanks in part to some life-changing stock recommendations. Some highlights. Netflix in 2004, 25,618% returns. Amazon in 2002, 18,671% returns. Tom's average recommendation, 216% returns. David's average recommendation, 699% returns. Today, we're featuring a recommendation that Tom and David both arrived at independently, which very rarely happens. Read the report now. Etc. An interactive look at the impact of the panic by race. How teachers feel about schools reopening. The Hamilton premiere nearly doubled Disney Plus downloads, and check out our guide to the show here. From our partners, now's your chance to enjoy a 5-star resort in Orange County for as low as $299. Choose your dates with the peace of mind that your trip is fully refundable. Book now here. And it doesn't say who it is, so we'll click on it. Travel Zoo. That's what it is. TravelZoo.com. How big tech makes its billions in a single chart. Boxed wine sales have surged amid lockdown. Need a pick-me-up? Try these touching animal comics. And relax with this library of the best soundscapes. Fierce competitors win thousands for refusing to stop touching their phones. Oh my goodness. Clickbait. Man flees in stolen car, crashes into a woman stealing a car. Okay. History book. Construction of the Hoover Dam begins, 1930. Happy birthday, Ringo Starr, 1940. Happy birthday, basketball legend Lisa Leslie, 1972. Sandra Day O'Connor nominated as first female U.S. Supreme Court Justice, 1981. U.S. women's soccer team wins World Cup for record fourth time, 2019. No one learns more about a problem than the person at the bottom. Sandra Day O'Connor. You can't just listen to one person's side of a problem, though. That's not objective. That's not just. Anyway. Johnny, rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard, 'cause hell's broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals the cards. If you win, you get this shiny fiddle made of gold. If you lose, the devil gets your soul. Goodbye, Charlie Daniels. And goodbye, 1440.